Today's video on board the Carnival Pride is sponsored by Level 8 Cases. More on that in a minute.
Hello everyone, my name is Zach. I am the Traveling Man and I come to you today from on board the Carnival Pride. This ship was just renovated last month, so there's so much to show you, so much to tell you, and so much to see on our 9-day adventure to Norway on board the beautiful Carnival Pride. So come on if you're ready, let's get this adventure started. Hi. Now officially on board the Carnival Pride and was on deck 3. Now I'm going to go up to deck 7 and check out the room. All right, so here we are, deck 7 in room 7299. So let's check out the room, which I'm really excited to see because they do have a premium balcony stateroom this cruise. So this is a really big room. I'll stand at the door so you can sort of get a view of the whole room, but you can see it actually looks like a suite, one of Carnival's suites. It's a very spacious room. I did hear a rumor that they were putting new mattresses on the bed today. They did just completely refurbish the Carnival Pride about a month ago, and I think they're still finishing up some of that. So I think the mattresses might be new. I don't know really how to tell. This one feels kind of firm, so maybe it is a new mattress, but this is a very spacious room here. It's very big. I'm very excited about this. You can see all the space over here, and then we'll check out the balcony. I think this is going to be the best part since we are sailing to Norway this cruise, to be able to step out here and have this very spacious balcony. So this is really nice. It's really big. It actually has a lounger out here to hang out on. So very nice. You can also tell that the door and things have been kept in very good shape, or maybe they were just renovated last month. I'm not sure. So over here, they've left a lot of the correspondence, as I call it, things from the cruise line about excursions. Of course, the fun times pamphlet that tells you what's going on all throughout the day. And then here's a little TV. I wish they had upgraded the TVs. That's one thing I'd heard before this cruise. They haven't actually really done many renovations inside of the staterooms other than potentially mattresses and things like that. They haven't really done anything to the TVs. It would be nice to see a bigger TV in this room, but you know, it'll be okay. Here's the air conditioning controls, and I am going to do a full room tour of this room, and that'll be out soon just to show folks what our premium balcony stateroom is like on the Spirit class. And then here's the bathroom in here, and it's just about the standard size bathroom, and then standard size shower over here. So this is a really nice room. I'm really happy and excited for 9 days in here. While I'm here, I will talk about the embarkation process really quick, and I don't have a whole lot to say, other than I did fly overnight, as I typically do, to London from the US. And when I arrived at London Heathrow, I had already pre-booked Carnival's transportation. Carnival was going to take me from London Heathrow over to the port of Dover. Now that's about a 2-hour drive by bus, by coach bus. It's about 100 miles or so. So it is quite a lengthy drive, especially after you've been on a plane all night. And I wasn't really pleased with how that process went. When I booked it, my scheduled time was at 10 a.m. So I got right off the plane right before 9, went straight to the meeting point, got there, got checked in. They said, okay, it's probably going to be an hour, which would be like 10:30 or so. I was like, okay, they showed me where to wait. Well, I went and sat down and waited. Then they came over and said, oh, it's only going to be 30 minutes now. We'll be leaving promptly at 10 a.m. We didn't end up leaving till like 10:45 or so. So we didn't get to the actual port of Dover until 12:45 p.m. And when I got to the check-in building, which is just very quaint, it's a very tiny building, but everyone was very nice. From the moment I stepped inside of the terminal, every point that I went through, just an incredible team that they have here working at the port of Dover. But it was very easy, and I have priority status with Carnival. I am platinum with them, so I did get to go through the priority line, but it didn't even matter because the other line, the non-priority line, was walking up just as fast and getting to the check-in agent just as quick as the priority folks were. So very quick embarkation process, and because it was 12:45 when we got here, as soon as they stamped our boarding pass, they said you can go on board the ship. And before I knew it, I was walking on board the Carnival Pride. And I'm so excited to be on board the Carnival Pride. I've always wanted to sail on a Spirit class. This will complete the Carnival Cruise Line fleet classes for me because I have sailed everything from the Fantasy class all the way up to Mardi Gras or the Excel class, as they call those. So Spirit was the last one to check off the box, and I'm really excited to do it. It's a smaller ship, only a capacity of about 2,400 people, but I do like a smaller ship. And you're going to see so much of the ship. I'm going to show you around the ship here in just a bit because I haven't even explored it yet. So we're about to get out and do some of that. But just wanted to let you know that the embarkation process here in Dover, England, fantastic, very quick, very easy. But do know that there could be some delays if you are booking your transportation with Carnival. And I did see on the Facebook group for this cruise, some people were saying that they, even got left. The bus didn't show up. So it seemed like that Carnival and whatever bus company that they contract out might be having some issues over there at London Heathrow today. So just be aware of that. There are other ways. There are trains and things like that that can get you over here to Dover from London Heathrow. So just do a little bit of research into that if you're coming, and maybe you can find alternate methods of transportation. But enough about check-in and embarkation, y'all. It's cruise day. We're on the Carnival Pride. I'm so excited to be back on Carnival. So yeah, let's go check out some of the ship. One more thing in the room though. I did just notice this USB ports right here on this lamp right by the bed, and there's one on each side. So that's very cool. Also, just sitting on this mattress, I do think I have confirmed it is brand new. So brand new mattress. The pillows look crispy. Ooh, they're very soft. I am just really pleased at this room. Like I said, I'm going to do a room tour and go way more in depth and show you the closets and the bathroom and everything about this room that I discovered throughout the week. But if you can get access to one of these premium balconies and book it, I highly recommend it. So just came up 2 floors from my room. I'm on deck 7. This is deck 9. This is the Lido Deck. And of course that means this is the main buffet here on board the ship. And it's pretty packed. A lot of folks enjoying a lunch as they first get on board the ship. And we can actually look down into the atrium here. The ship does have one of those open atriums. You can see all the way down there, all the way down to deck 3, which is where we boarded the ship. I think actually down to deck 2. Down there is where that dance floor is. And you can see this sort of pinkish red hue up here. That's because this is all under the glass of the well tail. There's like glass built into the well tail on these ships, and so it creates an illusion of like this pink hue, which is really cool. And actually, if we walked another level up, you can see these stairs. That actually takes you up to the Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, which we'll see a little bit later in the video. I'm going there for dinner tonight. So they just renovated it. So I'll show you that here a little bit later when I eat there tonight. There's like a mermaid theme in this Lido buffet. You can see the mermaids up there, and then the water like down the sides of the walls and stuff. So that's interesting. Right by the Lido pool here on deck 9. Speaking of the Lido pool, here it is now. The cool thing about the Lido pool on board the Pride and her sister ships is that it does have this retractable roof up above it. So you actually can close the roof, which will be important this week as we are sailing in Norway, where it will be much colder despite it being July. But they also have this screen out here. I think this is where they have movies in the evenings. Seems like there's another pool too here on the Lido Deck, just forward of the pool we just saw. This one is outside, completely uncovered, but there's also a hot tub here with that one. So pretty cool that there's 2 pools here on the Lido Deck. You can see this observation deck extends across the front of the bridge, or the top of the bridge rather. So you can walk all the way across and have amazing views. This is really cool. I'm excited to sail out of the Port of Dover. I've never sailed out of England before at all, Southampton nor Dover, but I'm excited to be sailing out of Dover today. A very small place, but a beautiful, charming place at that. Blue Iguana Cantina is where you can get tacos, burritos, taco salads, anything like that that you might want to get. They have it here at Blue Iguana. It's one of my favorite places on any Carnival ship, because I think it's just about on all Carnival ships at this point, and it's just neck and neck with Guy's Burger to be probably my favorite eatery on board the ship. But make sure if you're sailing with Carnival, you don't miss Blue Iguana Cantina. We're still here on the Lido Deck. I've just walked all the way through the buffet, and all the way here on the very aft of the ship on the Lido Deck is the Serenity area. Serenity area, of course, is exclusive to guests 21 years and older. It's so windy right now that some of the deck chairs and stuff are actually getting blown all around the deck back here in Serenity. But a huge Serenity area back here. I really like this. There's a pool in the middle and a hot tub. I couldn't really show you over there because just the wind was just blowing out my audio. Also interesting, it's so windy right now. Not only can I not film on any outdoor deck right now, but we actually have the stern thrusters on to keep the ship keep pushing the ship up against the dock, because we do have the gangway out. We are connected to the gangway. So they are using those thrusters to keep the ship connected to the dock, which is pretty interesting because I've never seen that happen before. It's just that windy today in Dover. So now that it's 2 o'clock, I decided to go ahead and grab some lunch and got a Guy's Burger, because where else do you eat lunch on Embarkation Day on our Carnival ship than Guy's Burger? And I heard some rumors before I came on this cruise that there had been some changes at Guy's Burgers, and there definitely has. First of all, this bun, it's a much larger bun, but it's not the same bun as they used to use at Guy's Burger. And then also the big thing, the fries are different. These are very thin fries. These are more of like a shoestring fry. Now they are seasoned. They do have a good taste to them, but they're not the more like hand cut sort of fries. They sort of had sort of like Five Guys fries here at Guy's Burger, but they don't have those anymore. They're just like shoestring fries here, so the fries are different. They also didn't have sauteed mushrooms. They only had sauteed onions. I always like to put sauteed mushrooms on my burger. So just a couple of changes that are noticeable at Guy's Burger that you should be aware of. There's a closer look at the atrium here. Looking down at deck 2 from deck 3, you can see a pretty decent line over there for guest services. It is day 1 of the cruise. That's typically the case. We just wanted to show you a lot of people having issues needing to go to guest services. So get there as soon as you can on Embarkation Day, because it does fill up very, very quickly. So in all my exploration excitement, I forgot to do my muster drill, and it's 2:30 and they're starting to call people by name. So I think I'm gonna head there and do that now so I don't get in trouble and actually get to sail. All right, so muster station is done. We are officially on a cruise. They're not gonna call my name over the loud system or anything and try to kick me off. But I am here in the back of the ship on deck 3. That is where my muster station is, muster station C. Here's a bar here. There's also the main dining room back there. We'll see all that. I'm also going to do a full ship tour at some point and show you a lot more of the ship. But see, you can see some of the furnishing of the ship. I actually kind of like it. It is cool. This ship came out, I think, in like 2001, 2002, early 2000s. So it is about 22 years old now. So it does show its age in places, but Carnival has done a good job of keeping the ship up. And they've done so recently. They have sent the Pride over to Europe for the past 2 seasons at least that I know of. And last year I saw her in Rome. She looked terrible. She looked like a rust bucket. But this year, once she got to Europe, they actually put her in dry dock for a full month. And they did a lot of renovations on the inside. They did a lot of upgrades. So I'm going to point some of those out to you so that you'll sort of know those. And I know a lot of people have been scouring the internet looking for pictures and videos, so you come to the right place, because I'm about to show you some things. We're going to see it right here on deck 3 as I start walking back to the forward of the ship, and as the aesthetic is going to change just a bit, and you'll see sort of how they've changed it. So we'll flip the camera around here and you can take a good look at this aesthetic, which is nice. It's something very Titanic about it, you know. It sort of reminds me of the movie Titanic a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But I like it. But notice this aesthetic, and now notice this. Now you can see the aesthetic change. You can see these white walls. These are the shops here on board, but they recently repainted all of this, so it no longer has the same aesthetic and feel as a lot of the other ship does, despite the floor. The floor is the same. But you can see the shops are different. They did add a couple of new shops here. And when they're open, we can actually look at some of those in forthcoming videos. And then we see now that the aesthetic is going to change back to, whoa, My Little Pony or something. This is just an advertisement for Cherry on Top, which is the candy shop here on board the ship. And we're going to weave our way through here to Ivory Bar. Ivory Bar is the piano bar on board the ship. So every night they'll have a pianist in here at the piano. And then you can have a seat and have a drink or something and just enjoy the music. And I know this is very popular on Carnival Cruise Line. A lot of their ships, well, all their ships actually, I think, have a piano bar, and they're always a very, very popular venue. I'm actually going to go down now to deck 2, which I haven't even been on yet. But first of all, let's observe a little bit of art, because there is art everywhere on board the ship. But heading down to deck 2, this is where we're going to find the atrium bar, because it is the main atrium of the ship. Right here, though, is just, you know, places to sit and relax, hang out. There's another piano right there. Here on deck 2 is also where we find the coffee bar. So if you're someone who likes coffee, it's here on deck 2 of the ship. And then right next to it is Red Frog Pub, another popular venue of Carnival's. And we'll step right in here and take just a real quick look. Oh, very spacious venue as well. Lots of places to sit. A little bit of a different vibe. We're not selling in the Caribbean, but this Red Frog Pub is very Caribbean themed and inspired. But yeah, so here's another new shop. This is the Carnival Adventure Shop. This is where you can get some stuff that you might want to take out on your excursions. They have sunscreen, swimming trunks and swim shoes, things like that. But you can see again the difference in aesthetic here in this new venue that they've done. It sort of clashes a little bit with the existing aesthetic just a bit. And then since we're here on deck 3, we might as well check out all the way forward on the ship the Taj Mahal Theater. This is the main theater on board the ship, and I already love it, y'all. It is like traditional old school carnival theater with these long sections of seats, the tables, and then the stage. Oh, it's not a huge stage, but this is like carnival. Like a good portion of carnival ships look just like this with their theaters. And this ship is probably one of the first, the Pride, the Spirit class, certainly one of the first that had this set up and look for the theater, because you can see this repeated in subsequent carnival ships. So that's cool. And I can't wait to see some shows in here. Can I also just say how happy I am to be back on a carnival ship? Like I said earlier, this is my 25th cruise. I don't know how many carnival cruises this makes, but I have been on a lot of carnival cruises. But it's been over a year since I've sailed with Carnival, and I have just really lately had that bug to want to sail with Carnival. So that's why I booked this cruise earlier this year, because I was like, I am getting on another Carnival ship soon. And so here I am on the Carnival Pride, getting to try out a lot of firsts. My first Spirit class, my first time sailing out of England, my first time sailing to Norway. It's my second time trying out Carnival in Europe, but I am wanting to see also like what the vibe is on these older ships in Europe. Like, I know this year the Pride's here. Next year they're sending over the Carnival Legend, which is a sister ship to this ship. So what's the vibe like on board these smaller ships when you come to a place like Europe where there are so many ports, port intensive itineraries, you know, so many cool places to see, so much history and culture in Europe when you sail in Europe and other parts of the world. But what's that experience like on a Carnival ship? So I'm going to bring all of that to you, and I'm so excited. I'm just really elated as I walk around the ship. I'm also very jet lagged because I just flew overnight from the East Coast of the United States to get to London to then take the bus to get here. So I'm really tired and lagging and just giving it my best effort today to keep powering through. But this ship is doing wonders for that, because it's given me a lot of inspiration to want to keep vlogging and showing you more, because it's a beautiful ship so far. Really enjoying the Carnival Pride. Okay, so just a minute ago I showed you the Red Frog Pub. That's a kind of a tongue twister. But what I failed to show you was right here beside that, which is a new venue here on board the ship. And this is the Heroes Tribute Bar. And this replaced the Skybox Bar, the sports bar essentially on board the ship. But they turned this into the Heroes Bar, which is something they're putting on a lot of their ships. It's just honors those that have served in our armed forces. So you can see they've sort of changed it a little bit. It does still look a lot like the Skybox sports bar. The seats and everything still look the same. They have added some seats over here, it looks like, that are brown, a little bit different from that. But you see they've added this welcome home and flag and things like that here along the back. So it seems like they've added some decor in here to make it the Heroes Bar. But overall, they still even have the scroll back here, which is what they had with the Skybox Bar. So yeah, it still looks a lot like the Skybox, but it has now been rebranded as the Heroes Tribute Bar. And then just aft of the Heroes Tribute Bar is the casino on board the ship, a very popular place. Of course, we're in port now, it's not open, but by tonight, this place will be very popular. Tomorrow, this place will be very popular when we have our first sea day. But this is the casino on board. And now just aft of the casino is Banzai Sushi. Banzai Sushi, of course, the sushi restaurant on board. The Pride and most all Carnival ships now have a Banzai Sushi. So if you like sushi, they do have that here for you to come and enjoy. They're usually open, I think, for lunch when we're at sea, and then definitely every evening for dinner. And then another new addition for the renovation, the dry dock that the Pride just had, was Dream Studio, which is right here in the atrium. Banzai Sushi's right there. The atrium is back there behind us. And then we have the Dream Studio. So this is new. So if you're someone who likes to get your photos taken or book those photo packages when you're on board, they now have a brand new redesigned venue for you to do that. And they did match it very well to the existing aesthetic. Oh, one more thing to show you, because this is actually the nightclub. So this is actually another thing that's been changed. Not a new nightclub, but a very heavily renovated. I can tell a lot of the furniture is new. The carpet in here is brand new. It even has that new smell in here. So basically, the Beauties Nightclub used to be 2 floors. We're on deck 2 here, and then up above us is deck 3. And so it was deck 2, and then there would be stairs somewhere along the wall probably, up to deck 3 to the upper portion. However, they closed the upper portion of Beauties Nightclub and turned that into staterooms. So there are brand new staterooms, at least 2 or 3 new staterooms up on deck 3, and then down here on deck 2 is just what remains of Beauties Nightclub. But they have renovated it. This is new furniture. You can see the chairs over here that they have. This is new. I mean, it's literally sparkling. I know it's gold, but you can tell it's new. The carpet's new, and like I said, it smells new in here too. So that's very cool. I mean, they are really keeping these older ships alive with these renovations. There is no way we can go outside and film this right now because it's way too windy, but you can see them loading on a lot of food and beverages here. There's a lot of Pepsis and Diet Pepsis and juices, and then there's some water over there. You can also see several people still checking in over there, still coming in. It's currently 2:40, and I think the last check-in time's at 4, so still a little bit of time for folks to get here. I know it's been a busy travel day for a lot of folks traveling from the US overnight like I did, but a lot of folks also visiting London before they come over to Dover to board the ship. So I know there's probably traffic disruptions and things like that, so hopefully folks make it in and get here on time. But you can really see, look how the wind is blowing out there, y'all. It's super windy in Dover today. So it is 8 minutes till 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock's our scheduled Sailaway time, and we actually just completed the safety drill, and they said that the Sailaway party's starting in 15 minutes, but you can see down there a lot of luggage still not been loaded onto the ship. And down here, a lot of food, materials still not loaded onto the ship. So I would say it's probably going to be a little bit longer than 8 minutes before we sail away. So while I'm waiting on Sailaway to happen, which seems like it's going to be a while, I went ahead and unpacked, and there is a ton of closet space in this room. So there's stuff in here, and then also got stuff over there, and still got plenty of room. And it's funny, my stateroom attendant came by earlier, and he was like, "Oh, it's just you in this big room," and I'm like, "Yep, it's just me, and I have plenty of room." But speaking of packing and stuff, I did want to say a word now about the sponsor of today's video, Level 8 Cases. And Level 8 Cases has been so kind and generous as to allow me to use this bag that has become very quickly my favorite bag to use. Hear that? This is an aluminum carry-on bag. And it's really nice because, well, it's aluminum. It's also quite heavy when you pick it up. Like, there's nothing in it now, but just picking it up, it's got a lot of heaviness to it. So it feels real sturdy. You know it's going to support your stuff. And then look at these locks down here. It has 2 TSA approved locks, one here and then one here. You can just snap those shut. And that's the cool thing about this bag, is that it does just snap shut and snap open. There is no zipper, you notice, going all the way around. All you have to do is unsnap it, and then you open it up. And it has 2 compartments in here, and each of them have a little covering with some hooks. And you can just take the hooks here and just go up like that, which is nice. And then you can put all your clothes in here, and then this compartment you can put stuff in. I've got like extra medications and like a tooth repair kit, Band-Aids, things that you probably won't need on a cruise, but I would highly recommend you bringing them just in case, God forbid, the worst happen, that you're ready. And then on this side, this doesn't have a compartment or anything, but it does still just sort of have this covering. And you can snap these off. That's the cool thing. They do come right off there, see? But I like to keep mine on to keep all my clothes packed down because, y'all, I have packed for 9 days in this one bag. That's how good this bag is. 9 days worth of clothes in this one bag, but I love it. I'll open this side and show you how deep it is. So you have 2 deep compartments on both sides where you can put your clothes, but it's a really cool bag. I've carried it now on 2 trips, and I really love it. You can just snap it shut here. You can pick it up, but it's really cool. I really love this bag. Again, by Level 8 Cases, this is the aluminum carry-on, and in just 2 trips, it is my favorite bag. I love the security it gives to my clothes and stuff. I know that my bag's not going to get beat up. It's not going to get a lot of scuffs and stuff on it. It's just a really good bag. I also love how it rolls around. So we can set it here. It rolls very easily in any direction. And I want to thank today's sponsor, Level 8 Cases, for this bag. And if you want to check out this bag, I'll put a link down below where you can get your own. So now that I've spent some time with it and been in here all day, I can tell that, you know, the little finishings like the latch on the door handle, I think even like the door frame itself, it's this nice clean white. I think all this is new. In addition to the furniture outside, the lounge chair, and then the two little chairs over here, very, very great condition. And then also, I've locked it here. Let's unlock that and go out real quick because it's super windy and cold right now. Also the railings, these are new railings as well. So it's really nice to see that it wasn't just like slapping paint on the hull of the ship, which did happen. Carnival really put a lot of work into refurbing the Carnival Pride. So just back in the room after walking around, exploring more of the ship. We're actually going to be leaving at 6:30. That's in 15 minutes, so I did want to come back for Sailaway. I did want to mention one thing, though. I had pre-ordered some water through Carnival. I think 24 bottles of water, two 12-packs, basically, because it's pretty cheap, and that's a pro tip for you. If you want bottled water in your room, don't drink the stuff they leave in there and charge like $5 a bottle. Order them from Carnival, because you can get, I don't know, it was like $6 or $7 for a 12-pack. So try that. It's like 20-ounce bottles of water, 12 of those for like $5 or $6. So I ordered 2 of those, expected them to be here in my cabin because I'd requested they be delivered on Embarkation Day, as they typically are. However, they've not appeared yet, and it's 6:15. I did ask the room steward, and he said earlier today when he came out and introduced himself, and he said that room service should be dropping those off, but they haven't yet. So stay tuned. So now it is about 7:30, and we are finally sailing away from the port of Dover, headed out to 9 nights in Norway. That includes 6 ports in Norway, and then we'll be back here in Dover in 9 days. So an action-packed cruise to come. But of course, weather was the delay, the holdup. You can see the big waves breaking back there. That was the holdup today. It just took a lot longer to get things loaded onto the ship, but glad we are finally headed out to sea. And 7:30 is coincidentally also the time of my reservation at Fahrenheit 555 Steakhouse, so I'm technically late. So we're going to run up there now. And again, this is another place that has sort of been changed, and it was just David's Steakhouse before, and they had a statue of David, the famous statue, in there. Carnival did remove that statue and rebranded the steakhouse as Fahrenheit 555. Of course, that's the steakhouse that Carnival has on most of their ships now, Fahrenheit 555. So that's where we're dining tonight, so let's go check it out. So an update, just before I left for dinner, my water did arrive. So yeah, just like when they said they would. So don't fret if you've ordered water for delivery the day of embarkation. It'll get there even at 7:30 in the evening. So just back from dinner in Fahrenheit 555, and I will say that it was okay. It wasn't great. I've had better Fahrenheit 555s before. They didn't really change anything other than taking out the statue. Everything else looks like it would have when it was David's Steakhouse. So it's not like they did any major refurbishments up there to make it Fahrenheit 555. It looks essentially, from what I understand, exactly like it did before. Yeah, now we're sailing toward Norway, and we'll be there in a couple days, and I'm really excited to see it. And I'm excited that you watched this whole video and came along with me. So make sure you go down below and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, which, well, is just tomorrow in the Sea Day vlog, I'll see you on the next adventure.